Hey everybody,
Howdy, howdy. Good evening.
How's everybody doing?
we're starting just a tad early tonight because we're all big supporters of our military, our troops, and two out of the three of us weren't able to do a live for Memorial Day, but we do have a Memorial Day video that we wanted to share with y'all. It's about 3.5 minutes long. Instead of doing, the regular, all the comments, we would like to play that video for you. So I know Jeremy and Patrick both said, that we felt bad that we couldn't do a live stream
Yep.
on Memorial Day, but we still want to give a tribute. So with that said, we're going to play that tribute for you now, and we'll be back in about 3.5 minutes.
Long ago, in a time of turmoil, lovers of freedom found new soil. Courageous men dreamed of a brand new day. Escape from tyranny seemed the only way. Patriots fought and heroes died to live in a land where we can have some pride. Sacrifices made for me and for you. Fighting for freedom is what they had to do. Thank you for our freedom, for the price that you paid, laying down your life for what is right. That's why you are remembered today. Thank you for our freedom, for the price that you paid, laying down your life for what is right. That is why we can sleep safely at night. Fighting the British, the Civil War, and 2 more wars with the rest of the world. Battle lines were drawn, you traveled far away, giving your all for the ones who are here today. Too many wars, too many dead, too many thank yous never said. So we're here right now, and we salute those who died for the red, white, and blue. This is for the soldier defending you and me. We honor your service that keeps us all free. Missing family and missing your friends out there protecting our homes from threats that never end. Thank you for our freedom, for the price that you paid, laying down your life for what is right. That's why you are remembered today. The call was answered and we watched you go. The price you paid is more than we know. So we stand up and we salute those who fight and those who die for the red, white, and blue. Stand up with me and salute those who fight and those who die for the red, white, and blue.
Okay, I want to give a big thank you out to Jeremy that guy down there, who wrote that song, and I just loved it. So we didn't want you guys to think that we didn't think about the fallen, because we do, and we wanted to play that tribute for you tonight. I actually wanted to do a live stream on Memorial Day, but two of us couldn't make it. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it.
I actually wrote that song at your house last Memorial Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well
Yeah.
done, gentlemen. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a great song. So tonight we've got a couple Father's Day projects for you. I think. Well, Jeremy and I do. Patrick, I think.
Mine's
did
held over
Father's-
from Memorial Day, where I missed the last live stream. So I
Exactly.
wanted to make sure everybody got a chance to use that. We have July 4th coming up, so you can dual use it.
Yeah.
So I have a problem tonight that we had 3.5 days of terrible rain here, and the shop got flooded again, so I can't be in the normal shop tonight. I've got to work here in the office, and in order to do that, I only have one screen. So in order to get that screen onto where you can see it, I had to create a virtual screen, another virtual monitor. And in order to work on that monitor, I have to be full screen. So there's going to be a couple of full screens going on tonight, where I'm working on the file, I'm demonstrating what I'm going to show you. And, I don't particularly like that, but that's all we can do. You get a lot of comments over there, Jeremy.
Yeah. No, I did not sing that song. I don't know if it would sound good with a howling screecher monkey. So that's all AI. I wrote it, and then I used Suno to do the music and the lyrics and the vocals. I just told it how I wanted it to sound. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, it
Rich,
came
we
out,
do have
came
a
out
couple
really-
comments that your volume's a little low.
If I turn it up, I have this whole building was open for 3 days, so the air conditioning is on high. I can turn it up a little bit. Is that any better? I don't know if it'll distort if I turn it up. Is that better?
volume's better, even though the
Okay.
machine in the background is fine.
Yeah, and it's going to get a lot noisier in here too once I turn on the air purifier and the chiller and the laser, because I'm going to have to use the RM laser tonight to work this job. So,
Darren, the song is on my Facebook page, not the video, because Rich just put that video together this week for me, or for
Yeah.
tonight. And but the song itself is on my Facebook page.
I could upload that to. I actually did upload it to YouTube for you guys to see, but I could upload it as a regular video, I guess.
Yeah, I don't care.
What I'll do is I'll upload it as a private video, and then next live stream we'll give you a link to it. How's that?
Cool.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay, so let's get started with what we're doing for tonight. I guess I'll start off. You know what I've been doing this week, so I've been trying to get the water out of this building. It's going to be addressed next week, so we have somebody coming in that's going to do gutters and the water catch and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that'll be the end of the problem. This is like number 7 flood over here. And that's because all of my neighbors' yards, they built houses around us, and they're all higher than we are, and the rainwater drains down this way. Plus, this is a really high roof here. It's 16 feet, so it adds a lot more space where the rain comes down and just collects a lot more water. But anyway, I'll get started. I have some basic keychains, like you see here. And there's 9 of these all together. This one I did out of MDF, 6.5 millimeter MDF, which I thought was going to be great. Excuse me, but don't really like it. So I decided to go to I decided to go to true flat plywood and double it up. And so this is this camera is not really going to focus. Yeah, there we go. So this is the true flat plywood, and I doubled it. And this is just one of them.
There it
we
is.
go. Yeah. So I've got 9 different designs. I'm going to show those to you really quickly, and then we'll move on to Patrick and Jeremy. So I have to go, in order to do this and get to Lightburn, I have to go into full screen. Now I have to go over to the pretend monitor and drag my mouse 3 monitors over to a place that doesn't exist. And over here are all the different ones. There are nine of these here, and a blank. So this is the first one, Best Dad Ever. And this is designed so that you can flip it over in the same spot if you want to just use one. These can also be used for, you can engrave the backside for luggage tags or backpack tags or whatever you want. So that's the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one, Happy Father's Day. This is number 4, which I think I'm going to be doing that one tonight. This is number 5. This is number 6. Number 7. And these are all original graphics, by the way. Well, that's an icon. But the rest of them, as soon as I said that, the rest of them are all original graphics. And then I have instructions in here. So what you can do with these instructions is put them onto a readable layer, like that. Put that layer into fill, and now you can actually read. And you can read these step-by-step instructions here. Also, these same instructions will open automatically when you open the file. All the instructions will be in here. You can copy and paste these to a notepad project and print it out. So those are the instructions, and then I've got sample sayings here, and it's on a toolpath. So again, we'll put it on a readable layer so that you can see it. And these are just some different sayings for the second side. And you can create your own sayings if you like, but these are sized properly to fit on the back side. So let's get rid of these. Just remember that you don't want to have them on a layer. If you do put them on a layer, make sure it doesn't output or delete them after you copy them. So over here is the actual project itself, and what I would do, and this might sound a little tricky, but it's not. So you go ahead and run this job. So I've taken 2 of those graphics, which I'm going to run tonight, this one here and this one here. And then once this job is finished, you need to do the back side, right? So I've taken the template, this one over here in the library, brought that out and put a saying in there. Now what you would do is select this one. No, actually, I'm sorry. Select this one first. So we select this one first. And what we want to do is align this one to this one. So we're going to hold shift and then select this one. And then hit the bullseye like that. Now all we have to do is turn off the output and the show on that first layer, and then come over here and put this onto a layer. Oh, I put it on a different layer, I'm sorry. There we go, not one of the ones that are hidden. So, and then just move it into place. And now you can run the second side, and you're gonna see how I do this tonight. So this second side, and actually that red circle shouldn't be there. I guess it wasn't grouped.
Yeah, you can turn that off in the
Yeah.
thing over there too.
Yeah, I didn't turn the red off. You're right. That's exactly right. So we're going to turn the red off and turn the show off. And now we're ready to run that second side. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So let me get rid of these, put them back to where they were, and just a little further. There we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is run these two on the left, and then I'll come back to full screen again and position this one to run the second side. And
All right, if you can see the link in the description, just copy and paste it into your browser, and then try to do it that way.
is that for the download?
Yeah, they're saying it's not working and it's not there.
Oh, okay. I actually have that. Let me put it in the. Did you put it in the? Hang on one second. I'll get it. There it is.
It's in my description, so I don't know if it got messed
in
up.
It's in the Laser Maker's Realm description too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just went and double checked it.
It's probably not in my description. There, I'll put it in there.
Cool.
All right. And then I'm just gonna quickly go over to my dashboard and put it in there as well. I forgot to do that. Sorry, guys.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens with me a lot lately.
What you got, Patrick?
All right. I have a USA flag cross, and I'm going to show you. You'll get two of these. One has a little hole in it, a little extra piece for hanging. The other one is plain. And you're not going to get them with these fill layers, but I want to show you how to do that. So first thing, I have everything nested real nice, so it'll use as little material as possible, so it'll leave you some leftover. But you can grab all this stuff and then just resize it for whatever your material size is. But since these are all nested, make sure you go to your optimization settings and turn on remove overlapping lines, so that way when it's cutting it out, it'll just go over these lines one time and won't run them twice. That'll save you some time there. Since I lost my demo piece, I don't no idea where it is. I'm going to use a fill to shade in the area of these stars and then shade in the stripes for the red. So if you want to do that, just select a piece. So we'll ungroup this, select this one. And let's say I want to, I'll just assign it the same shade. So once I select that, if I hit Control D, it'll make a copy of that layer. And then what I want to do is make that layer this green color. No.
Yes.
Which color did I assign it? Yeah, the green color. It's number 3. And then I'll have my shading layer assigned there. And then I can do the same thing for these stripes. I'll just grab all of those and then hit Control D. And then that new layer will automatically be selected. And then I'm going to change it to layer 10. And then I have cut layer and fill layers. And that's all there is to it. And the black line here is just to give you something to line up these other pieces. So you can either have that line put on your material for you, or you can turn that off and not use it. But that's what I have for you today.
Cool.
Okay,
That looks awesome.
Hang on one second. I'm going to go and, while Jeremy's talking now, I'm going to go and get set up. I am using the laser in this shop, which is the RM Laser J750. And I've already loaded a piece of wood in there. I'm going to go get everything turned on and ready and mute my microphone in between. So, Jeremy, you're up.
All right. Well, Rich and I, we're both doing keychains tonight, and we didn't even talk to each other about it. Mine are on the ones from Amazon. So there's the first one. And these are a mixed set. So all of these are you got the child's hand and the father's hand. And in my file, you'll see dad and child written in there in the blue toolpath. And there's I think five. There's five different things in there that fit on all of these. I buy them in a box like this. I get them by the 100, but you can get them 25 on up in different increments. And I did leave a link in the description in my video on my YouTube channel for this, to where you could go to Amazon and find those. And the other size is these round ones right here, which the other one is in there. And I've got stuff going on both sides, so I'm going to do that in a second. And then somebody, while I've got y'all here, oh, let me explain something. The reason why I have some of this stuff, the hammer. I was a licensed builder for 30 years, so I use a hammer a lot. The one that's in the round one, on this one that's in the lasers, got a fist holding a wrench. My dad was a mechanic for my entire life. So he was always wrenching on stuff, and my son-in-law is doing the same thing. And I got a couple grandsons and one on the way. So that was my inspiration for the hammer and the wrench and some of the other stuff. The other side of the red one is going to have, so you've got this one here with the one fist. I've got the next one that's going in the round one. It's got two fists bumping the dad's fist. So you'll see a bunch of stuff. And I think Rich actually went in and added a couple different variations too, as we were talking today. So you might get more than 5. I'm not sure. And then somebody was mentioning something about graduation stuff. I know this says class of 2024, but I couldn't find my recent stuff because it's all buried in my boxes for my shows. But these are my air fresheners. So you put little essential oils down in here or whatever. And so I will update that or get that file today or tomorrow or Monday, and I'll put it in the Laser Makers Realm files, and you guys can just have this so you can make little car air fresheners for your graduate, and they can have them in their car. So I'll just throw that one in there as soon as I can. And that's what I have tonight.
Well, I'm going to get started. So I'll swap over to the Lasermatic and, well, get this thing in focus, and we'll give it a go.
All right, I've got my laser turned on, and I'm gonna have to, I'm sorry guys, I gotta go back into full screen so that I can frame and get ready to get it started. So just stand by 1 second. I'm going to use cut selected graphics on this, and I want to make sure that my toolpath is not going to frame, so it won't frame that out. So I'm going to hit frame and see how this works. I think I have it in the right spot, and I do. Okay, so I think all I have to do here now is hit start, and then we'll come back to this and see the final product later. Now, a lot of people ask me why I don't hit send on a CO2, and that's only because I don't want to clog up I don't want to have to go over there and delete files from the controller. So I just hit start.
That's exactly why I do it too.
Yeah. It's just a waste of time hitting send, unless you're
Unless
using,
it's,
if you're using current position, and you send the file to the laser, and then blah blah blah, then you do your framing and starting from the controller. I don't like doing any of that, so I'm just going to hit send. and we'll get started.
Good grief, that thing's fast.
That right now is running 800 millimeters a second. I got to jump up and turn on my low air. Hang on.
Yeah, pop. Same as everybody else in the comments. We're sending prayers your way. We have been.
I'm going to mute my microphone right now. I'm sure there's a lot of noise coming through.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But you got a lot of stuff going too, so that's understandable.
All right, that's just drawing the placement marks for the second layer. I am shading the what would be the blue part of the flag around the stars with opposing 45s ran at 1/2 millimeter apart.
I just want to say something about those score marks that Patrick's doing. I just did, for my patrons, I just did welcome dogs and cat sign, and it's really important that you do those score lines like he did for placement of the second layer. I just wanted to pop that in there. They're also called a kiss cut. You may have heard it called kiss cut.
And on my demo piece, I actually cut each layer out of vinyl and just glued the vinyl coated pieces together. So I actually made those alignment marks even deeper on my demo piece. That way they would show through the vinyl once I pressed it on there. But I have no idea where it's at.
Huh. Well, I got mine off the thing. Here's the first one. And the nice thing about all these is you can switch all these. It's broken. You can put it on this one, and the same thing. You can switch everything around. This one is just there's the two fists with the dad fist, and you'll see in the. Let me look at it here. What does it say? It says dad, and then your name, the kids, or whatever if you want to do that, and then I have personalized here, so you can put your own saying up in there, and it's curved. If you want to do it that way, whatever. I don't know. I was just thinking about Father's Day, and I was thinking about all the stuff and who was doing what with what tools, and I thought that would be a good thing to do.
Dwayne. You're awesome.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Dwayne.
that.
Appreciate it.
By using a 1/2 millimeter line spacing, it'll go pretty quick, even with the opposing 45s. That's why I chose to go with a wider line space. Then finished results should look pretty cool. And it's impressive that the XW can move that gantry back and forth for those.
Those are move
45s pretty quick.
I wonder if he meant money.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that you turn up your white space scanning if you're going to do something like that.
Oh, yeah, these keychains right here, I take that little box full of those, and I take the Lasermatic to the shows, and I have some samples that I set out and a little sign that says custom while you wait keychains, and yeah, they're pretty popular. I sit there and make them. People just watch that laser go. It's pretty cool.
Okay, I'm gonna. You won't be able to hear me from the other side of the room, but I'm going to go over and take my X-Acto knife and carefully flip these over. Now, actually, you should tape this down before you start to make sure it doesn't move, but I'm going to hope that the magnets are going to hold it, and I'm just going to go get my X-Acto knife and flip those over in order to do the other side.
Rich, you're living on the edge. It's very daring.
Great. Now I don't know what font I use for the 2025. That's hilarious.
Comic Sans.
No,
Why not?
I don't. I didn't. I know what Comic Sans is, and it's not it.
Yeah, I hate that font.
I'll find it. Hold on. I think it's.
And it's the first one that popped in my head too. And it's the one that I dislike.
There it is.
Ooh, I didn't see anything move. At least not yet. Rich is using his RM laser CO2.
Okay, what I did there was...
Whoa, thank you, Jimbo.
I flipped that over, and thank you, Jimbo. Much appreciated. All the donations that we get at the channel go to the guys so that they can buy more materials so that we can do these videos. So we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. But what I did was I flipped those over and put them back into the cut space, and I defocused the laser just a little bit to do the engraving. So now I've got to go, sorry guys, I've got to go back full screen in order to get back to light burn on my virtual screen. So unfortunately, you're going to have to bear with me for just 1 minute.
Dwayne, I hadn't checked Messenger, but I just checked it just now, and those look very cool. Well done. I'll pop those up on screen.
Hang on let me finish doing this first. All right, so...
Oh, no, I'll do that after.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, the same thing that I said before. Actually, what I'm going to do is group these for one moment. And I want to put this one, hold shift, select this one, and do the bullseye. Just like that. Now on my cuts and layers, I'm going to turn off the output. And actually, let me do this one too first. Let me group that. And select this one holding shift and bullseye. Now I'm going to turn off the output on both. And I'm going to turn off the show on both. And I've only got those two left. So now I can ungroup these and then select just the text and put it on another layer. So I'm going to put that on the green layer, and then I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to ungroup it, put this one onto the green layer, and now I've got to go and get my engraving settings, which is what I should have done already. Sorry for the full screen, guys. Alright, so now we have that layer set. And now I can run this job. So I'm going to come back to the laser. I'm going to grab these two. And I'm going to hit start one more time. So here we go. Okay, now I can get out of full screen. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, I had to run to the fridge and get my super glue.
Thank you, Jimbo. Much appreciated.
Anyone else store their super glue in the refrigerator?
No,
Your
never
bulk
even
bottles?
knew about that.
It'll help it last longer. Less moisture in the refrigerator. Let's see. Here's the picture Dwayne was talking about.
Hey, Jack.
It's got one saw blade there, and then a second saw blade here. Did a very nice job. Go back to the other one since we're in full screen. There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
Beautiful.
That's freaking sweet.
Very nice, sir. Very nice.
Really nice.
All right, so the air freshener file is already on the LMR files. So if you go to Laser Makers Realm Facebook page, click on the files, it should be the top one right there.
Yeah,
Wait,
and
Jeremy,
I've
stop.
updated-
Hold on. Jack's here.
Jack.
I just wanted to acknowledge that Jack was here.
Yeah, I saw
Oh.
that.
Phew, you almost missed it.
If you're on my channel, if you reload the page, the link is in the description now for the file download.
He used a Monport 60 watt JPT on the saw blades.
Same, not a mom port, but 60 watt JPT MOPA up there on those saw blades too.
Now, those fills are wrapping up here soon, and then we'll get to the cuts.
Ed's here. We can start. Okay, I'm going to hold these up on the little screen. So the keychains that I'm doing. And these are designed specifically for these keychains. The link is in the description on my channel's video description. This one's customizable. Stuff's in the file.
Thank you, Ed.
Oh, that's
appreciate
cool.
that.
Thank you very much. Oh, how does this one go? There we go. Father, hero, friend. Is there another one on the back side of one of these? Hold on. What did I do? Nope. Okay, that's it. All right. Cool. There's a couple of different ones that you'll see in the file, and then I think, as I mentioned before, Rich did a little bit of
Yeah,
work
just a
on them
couple
too.
Duplicates. That's all.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I just want to say now I'm going to be away from the microphone, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be at this table, and what I'm going to do is rinse those down with a little bit of water, wipe them off, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to dust them first, rinse them down, wipe them off, and they should be ready to go.
Radu, these come all pre-assembled. You can see them. They're all assembled in the box already. You don't have to do anything. You just buy them, use them. I love it. We had the Civil War reenactment a couple weeks ago when we were there setting up our booth, and I made some custom I survived the Civil War reenactment keychains and gave them out to some people that were there.
That's funny.
Oh, how did they connect them? Okay, so you take the ring out. See that little hole right there? You put a little Phillips screwdriver down there, and there's like a wood screw in there. But you have to take out the ring to get to it. Dwayne, in my description, on my video or on my channel, there is a link to those through Amazon. It's my affiliate link. If you want to use it, if not, that's fine too. I just literally started using affiliate links. I just got signed up with it. I was in a barn, not even close to where they were shooting the cannon off, but we could hear it from where we were. And one thing I did notice is the South has all the coolest memes, sayings, and graphics. The North has got nothing. Regardless of what you think about the flag and about whatever, they just got some of the coolest artwork with the rebel stuff. So, I
Nice.
don't know. I wish the North would come up with something cool. I tried, but it couldn't. Because we're just the Union, not the rebels. So it's like, whatever.
Can't wait for this to get cut out. I want to see how that crosshatch looks on there. It's been a minute since I've done one on a wood project. I think the last one I did was the music notes and guitar.
Well, you did the Mother's Day flower thing. Wasn't that wood?
Well, I didn't do like a crosshatch fill pattern though.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Dwayne,
it's
this
been
is
a while.
the one I have is a 100 pack. They have like the 24 on up. You don't have to buy a whole huge box of them. They're not that expensive anyways, but I figured I'd just get the big box and have them for a while. Yeah, that's right, Ed. We don't need no stinking fancy artwork. Except for when you're a laser engraver and you want to put something cool on a hat patch.
All right, finally.
Jeffrey, I agree. 100% the flag.
Okay, so I got these done. And this is the first one. Come on, camera. Camera is not going to cooperate.
There it is.
There's the first side, and there is the second side.
I like that one.
So that's one. This one is number 2. I think I just have to cover my face. Come on. Lord, I hate this camera.
There it is.
And then this is the second side of number 2. So I put a bunch of different sayings in there that you can pick from, and you could do the second side like that. But I always have a lot of people telling me that you can't flip something over and put it back in the wood. That's not a good way to do it. You saw me do it live, and I had absolutely
Do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why so many people make those comments, like on Facebook posts and stuff. And then all you have to do from here is you can make these backpack tags. You can make them keychains. You can make them whatever you want. This would be like for a backpack tag. You know, this is like a loop that you screw together. You slip this through. Just got to make sure you size the hole properly. This fits for all of the small keychains. So you can use a keychain like this, which is what I'm going to do. Let me get my other knife, because I know I can't separate this keychain with my...
I made myself a cool hat last weekend to go for my kids' high school. I made their logo. I used
Rings
the
and
Lone
rings.
Star acrylic, the tri-layer, and used a 3-collar hat. And then I got to wear it to the state track meet because my son got to compete as a freshman on the 4x400 team.
Nice.
Cool.
That was cool.
So there is just a standard keychain. And this is actually pretty tough. You know, I was originally thinking that needs to be like 5 millimeter, and that's why I did this first one in 6.5 millimeter MDF. But I don't. It's too thick, I think. This is just perfect. So this is true flat plywood that I used for this, and all you have to do is spray it with water and wipe it off, and that's it. And it comes out like you see. It's nice and clean. Well, like you see if my camera would focus. But anyway, there it is. There's one. Here's another one. You can use all different types of accessories to put on it, like this little clasp. Just fish this around here. I have tons and tons of keychain accessories, and I made sure that I bought them all in the right sizes. So there's probably a couple thousand of them in here.
I got a whole drawer full of stuff down here too.
Yeah. So you can get these accessories too. I forget what I searched on Amazon. I think it was jewelry parts or something like that. And I found tons of them. And you can get them really cheap on Amazon and in a lot of quantity as well.
Before Patrick gets going too heavy, one of the things you're going to find in the file from mine is this template you can cut out, and all of these keychains fit right in there like this. Well, of course, they fell through. They fit right in with that little knob sticking up in there, so you can lay them in. I just lock it into the corner of my thing, and all I have to do is put the artwork in the center of it. There's also a blue, what is that, the T2 line in there that's the size of the face of these, and you just center that up in there and run it. You don't have to do any alignment if you get this locked in and figure it out the first time. And what I do on my keychain file is I just have this in and locked so it doesn't move in the file system in my file, and then I can just move everything to it. And that's what I did tonight. I just popped it in there, locked it into my spot, put my artwork in there, and hit go. I didn't even have to think twice about it.
I was wondering what those rectangular tabs were for.
Yep. So there's one for the rounded one that fits in like this, and then there's one for the square, one for the round. Actually, there's only one for the round, but there's two of all the other ones, so you can do horizontal and vertical, and you don't have to change them. Some people like to engrave either way.
I hope that that demonstration tonight of the two keychains answers a lot of people's questions about. I'm constantly getting questions about my business card coins, and how I do those, and it's just as simple as putting the material down, taping it in place. I used magnets tonight. If you have strong magnets, that works too, but you got to be really careful when you flip them. And you got to use an X-Acto knife and get right in the crack and just pop them out and flip them over. Put them right back in the hole. So I forget how many coins I do at a time. I'd have to look at the template, but I think it's something like 120 at one time. And the biggest amount of time that I have is flipping them over. And if you just snap it over just with the top right in the middle, flip it right over, and then put it right back into place. You don't have to worry about the alignment being off. But with these are rectangular, so the alignment can't be off. So if you're doing anything other than a circle, it doesn't matter how you take them out.
Yep. Thank you, Ernie. I appreciate that. I'm glad they worked out for you. And they're not for sale. They're free so far. They might be up on my website soon. I doubt it.
Hey Jeff, how you doing tonight? Yeah, Ed, I was wondering why I never heard from you.
That was for Patrick, not for me.
Send me an email, Ed.
Oh, I missed it.
Did you put keychains on your the keychains for the?
Oh, the
donation
LMR ones?
Yeah. I get it now. I get what he's talking about. I couldn't figure out why he was saying for sale, and I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, everybody's getting a drink.
Okay, I'm done.
Nice.
I'll zoom in. Baby.
Oh, that crosshatch has got sort of a rough texture to it. I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
that looks great. And you can pre-paint this wood before you run this job. Or you can use that true flat plywood. You'll be very happy that you did.
Okay, I have
Yeah.
a question. Patrick. You see that dark stripe on that bottom star?
Dark stripe.
Line, that dark line running from left to right towards the top up on that bottom star. It's like the laser went way too hot or it slowed down and burned too deep in that one line. I get that once in a while until I found out why.
Kathy
The rails are
says
dry.
She made hearts and flipped them. But
Okay.
when she engraved, some of them popped out. They shouldn't have. Maybe you had your air assist on. You have to have the air on low.
Yes, it came out great though, Patrick. I like that.
Not too bad.
What was the line? Did you figure it out? It could be an anomaly in the wood.
Yeah, it's
the
I don't know.
the
It
rails.
kind of Yeah, the whole wood gets a little bit darker down there on the bottom too.
Yeah. Well, I get it once in a while when my rails get dry and I have to re-lube them.
That's why I like this true flat plywood, because the center core is MDF, so you don't have to worry about having anomalies in the wood. It still has glue in it, but they seem to do a good job. I've never had the true flat plywood cut improperly, and I've been using it for a long time now.
Yeah, Ed, that would definitely take the paint off with the crosshatch. I did that just because I wasn't going to paint these, so I just wanted to shade it with the laser. But when you get the file, there's no fill to any of the pieces.
Yeah, what I was saying, like that back layer, you can paint that one white to begin with, so that the stars are white.
Yeah, and that's what I did with the vinyl, and I don't know where my piece went because I did this whole back layer with white vinyl and then cut out this piece in blue and then put the blue vinyl on the wood and then these in red and put the red vinyl on those pieces, and it turned out really nice with the vinyl coated wood.
Yeah, so you can paint them the same colors.
Oh yeah.
And just cut all the pieces out and glue them all together and then it's done.
Yeah, you could always paint them later. I'm lazy, so I like to use the pre-painted stuff.
If it's white or very light colors and I'll cut it before I paint it so that it doesn't get any char smoke on it.
True flat is great stuff. Just wish I could get a 1/4 inch. No, it's only 3mm right now. Who was that had? I think it's Craft Closet. Will send you any color you want. They just started it recently, like a week ago.
Very cool.
Okay, let's open it up to Q&A. Being that we've finished our projects for the night.
Dwayne, it's in tonight's live stream description.
Affiliate link.
For my keychains.
Oh, okay.
The Amazon link.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention.
No, it's fine. We got it. We got you.
All right, we got 130 people watching right now. We're right at almost at the 1 hour mark, but we'll open up the floor to Q&A if you guys have any questions about anything that we've done tonight or anything else for that matter.
Yes, smash the like button. Absolutely. I like that suggestion.
I'm going to cut another one out.
Do it.
No shading, just cutting.
I got both my 3D printers going on 11-hour prints right now. They're about 3 hours in, 3.5 hours in.
I just finished a 4-inch to 3-inch hose adapter just right before we started tonight. Yeah, so if you guys are watching right now, hit that like button, please. And if you're dedicated viewers, come back after the live stream or watch the replay. You can scrub back after it's over, refresh the page. You can leave a comment down below.
Yeah.
And
make sure you
all that
subscribe
stuff,
too.
All that stuff gets these videos pushed out. Oh, and by the way, it is my 4th anniversary on YouTube.
I just had my 3rd this month.
Oh, congrats. So I am on my countdown now to my silver plaque, my YouTube plaque. I just passed 90,000 subscribers, and I'm counting down to 100,000. So if you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, please do so to help me get to that. 100,000. And Bob, I don't think there are going to be any updates on Milmage. And I can tell you that the person that's developing it is going to be a speaker.
Sounds good.
And I have a pretty good feeling that Milmage is going to be launched in July. So that's my feeling, especially with some of the scuttlebutt going on behind the scenes. So I'm pretty sure that you're going to see Milmage launch at LBX 2025. Which printers are you using? I am using, actually for this print I just did, I have the FL Sun S1, the big huge monster next door. And at the other shop I've got all Bamboo Labs. So
That's what I thought you had.
Huh?
That's what I thought you had, was all Bamboo Labs.
Yeah, the other shop I have 3 Bamboo Labs. I also have an Anycubic Viper right here, right next to me, that's been there for 5 or 6 years since it came out. And every once in a while, just to keep it going, I'll print something on it. But the speed on that, back then it was great. Today it's like a turtle. So
yeah. I'm running 2 FlashForge Adventure 5Ms right now, and I'm telling you what, they're smoking at 300 millimeters a second right now. And at that speed, it still takes 11 hours to print what I'm printing.
The adapter I printed today printed at 600.
Mm-hmm. Are you using Fast PLA?
I'm using
Rapid,
PLA.
or is that called Rapid PLA?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the name of it is. It's not Fast PLA, but it has a name. It came from
Yeah.
FL Sun.
Yeah,
But
they got some good stuff.
That it actually went a lot faster in many places than 600 millimeters a second, but it was up to almost 1,000 in some places because I ran that adapter, because it just goes straight up. I ran it in vase mode.
Yep. That FL Sun is specifically designed for round stuff.
Yeah,
It really does
absolutely.
a good job on the round stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all for the anniversary. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I see that.
Dale, if you really want a Bamboo, get the A1 Mini. I absolutely love it. I use it more than I use the Carbon. So, when I have a job that fits the A1 Mini, and it fits most of the jobs that I have, I do the right angle exhaust hose for the 4-inch and other things like that. And that machine, you just load it, you click start and walk away. And that's it. I mean, it's what a printer should be. And they're cheap, too. The
Yeah.
A1 Mini is very cheap. I got a cabinet for mine, a 6-foot tall cabinet with a heater and exhaust and all that kind of stuff. But and it also stores tons of filament in there. But it's not PLA Plus, Jack. It's made for high speed. It has a name to it. I just don't remember what it is. I usually do use PLA Plus.
Yeah, PLA Plus, Elegoo PLA Pro is what I'm running on that one. And I just got regular PLA because I hit the wrong button on that one
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah,
So I
Dwayne,
just got.
you can get the AMS for the Mini too.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that the AMS Lite?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not the big AMS.
No, it's the AMS Lite. It's like a tree.
Yeah, if you have a cabinet, it works well. Andy is seconding the recommendation for the A1 Mini. And it comes in a little tiny box, 5 minutes from the time you get it to start using it. I'm so glad that I bought that. They didn't send that to me for free. I bought that. I'm so glad that I did.
Noel's hop skipping on planes and he stopped to watch us for a few minutes. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Herb. Greg says, I just finished the black leather hat patch on my hat on the Lasermatic and pressed it with a manual Vever hat press. Looks great. You know what? I put my son into the hat and the t-shirt business. In fact, the hat that Jeremy's wearing right now comes from his shop. And we bought the Vever press to get started. And then I said, you know what? I want to get him a really good press, a professional press. So I looked over at Lone Star. They had like a press for $1,400. So I got onto Alibaba and I started chatting with manufacturers. I found the company that manufactures it, and I actually got a better machine than they had for almost half the price, with the laser crosshairs and automatic everything. And he doesn't use it. He uses the Vever, so he doesn't like it as much as the Vever. And this one is dual planting, and you got all different types of cushions for it and everything else, and it's just pretty much going unused.
Yep. I use the Vever, the little orange automatic with a rolled up towel on the bottom platen, and it works perfect.
Yeah, we put pillows on him. He puts pillows on, but yeah, he loves that basic machine that I didn't pay anything for. They sent it to me for free. I think it was a $79 machine. Thank you, Pop Pop. We love doing this, Noel. So this is a hobby for us. So we love being here, and we love the fact that you guys are here with us. And I wish we could do it more than every 2 weeks, but my schedule and Patrick's schedule and Jeremy's schedule just doesn't allow for it. We have to pay attention to our channels and doing videos there too. And now I have to pay attention to my patrons. And now I've got a patron live stream, and I have a members only live stream on my channel. I think Patrick launched his members only live streams too, or did you? Or did you just?
I try to when I have time.
Yeah,
So,
channel memberships and stuff just opened up for me on mine too. I don't know how to work it or what to do with it, but when it happens, it'll happen. Rice bag. I'm going to try that.
Congratulations to Michael at Laser 911 on his inventing the use of powder coat paint on engraving. I don't think he invented it. We did live streams 2 years ago, Patrick, was it?
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been about 2 years since then, since we did it live on the Laser Makers Realm. And so I don't think Michael invented it, but
He might have made it easier to follow.
maybe. We did
I
it
don't
on
know.
We did it on the live stream, so you got to see it live.
There you go.
Mistakes and all.
I'm going to have to find that one.
Thank you, Ernie. Ed says, I watched the New York video. It was great. but that skyline is driving me nuts. I think ChatGPT lied to you. Probably that wasn't the point of the video though. And then my friend Carl over at the Tinkerverse emailed me, and we chatted back and forth a little bit, and he said, "Can I do a video, a shorter video on the same topic using different techniques?" And I said, "Yeah, well, that's not what I do. I do it to put the most amount of tips and tricks in it. But yeah, go for it." So he did. So if you go to that New York video and look at the very first comment, the pinned comment, I put a link to his. I put a link to the Tinkerverse, his channel, where you can watch his version of it if you want to do it as fast as possible. My videos more concentrate on talking about tips and tricks throughout the video than doing it as quickly as possible. I mean, I could have done it in 4 minutes flat, but you know.
What was mine? My video was like 7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I did it a little different.
Yeah, and Jeremy did a video on it too.
Yep. I did a little different than you. I did some offsets, I think, and then I picked the inside offset and then picked the entire graphic, and in one click, boom, and it was in. I grouped it and it was done.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So there are to do that sign. There are lots of ways to do it.
Yep.
And one of the ways that Carl was suggesting is just use the picture and do an image mask. And I say, yeah, well, I did that. I've done that before, you know, in my videos. So I try and every video that I make, I try and do something, a few things different, so that you can learn different ways of doing things. There's probably 10 ways to make the sign.
Yeah.
That I made.
Yep.
You know, Carl had a way to do it. Jeremy had a way to do it. I had a way to do it, and probably 10 more people will come up with other ways to do it.
Yeah, and they weren't layered either. They were just a simple. This is how you get graphics cut into letters.
Exactly.
Lee wants to know how to donate.
There's a little $sign right below the video, I think, where you can send a super chat. Ed says the New York video was fast and very, very easy to follow. Yeah, it really wasn't fast, but I tried to make it as easy to follow as possible.
It seemed like it went fast. I watched it, and it was like, oh, okay.
But I'm gonna. I already talked to Carl about it. We're gonna do a video together because Carl is a shortcut guy. So if you watch any of his videos, I love his videos, by the way, at the Tinkerverse, and he's a shortcut guy. So a lot of the times when you're watching his video, you don't really see what he's doing. He uses all shortcut keys. So you know, he's an IT guy. So, but we're going to do a collaboration together on my channel, and we might even invite him here on the Lasermakers Realm to join us here. William says, engrave, fill with powder. I put 2 pennies on top of each hole. Okay, and Laser 911 added the powder coat to the engrave and then ran the laser over it at a lower power, and it was done. Yeah.
Yep.
We did that too a couple of years ago. But
there, say instead of painting, you can just vinyl coat it.
I saw that's what you were doing over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, I see.
I'm going to load the blue in and cut the blue out and then cut the little reds.
But for the powder coat, I really like. Now I've done it many different ways. So in fact, well, you can't see it right now, but right back there, right there on the wall is M16. In fact, let me show you. Let's see, what camera is that? 3? So this is wood powder coated. I don't remember when I did that. I believe that was, were you able to see that, Jeremy?
Yeah. Yep.
So that was like 4 years ago that I did that. In fact, on the laser that I gave to Jeremy, right behind me, it was right behind me. And that was exactly what you just described. Doing the first pass engraving and the second pass at low low power and disconnecting the air assist. But I didn't really like that process. So about 2 or 3 years ago, here on the LMR, we did a powder coating video, and I got my heat gun out, and this was the simplest process ever. You remember, Patrick? I mean,
Yeah. Yep.
I engraved. I did multiple colors on the same board, and I engraved it all, put the powder coat on, scraped it all off, and then took my heat gun from about 30 inches directly above it, and just came down really fast, and held it there for a few seconds, and everything melted, and it came out beautiful, and the powder coat was sparkling. So I think that method was the best.
Now with the Lasermatic, the fan on the top pushes air down through, so you can't. Who said something about putting the glass on top with the
Yeah,
pennies?
so
You have to do that probably.
that was also what I suggested when I, like 4 years ago, when I did that M16 blueprint. I went to Lowe's. Actually, I tested it. Somebody suggested it to me in the comments. I went to Lowe's and I got some pane glass, which is like super thin. And then I ran another project by putting the pane glass over for the second pass and lowering the power, and it worked perfectly. So you have to get the really thin pane glass though, because if you get the thicker glass, you might be out of focus when you run the second pass.
Hey, Gregory, nice to meet you. Nice to have you in the house.
Jack, I love the shortcut keys as well, but when I'm doing videos, I really don't. The only shortcut keys I think I use is the duplicate and the Boolean operator, and I think that's it. I don't want to confuse people, because it seems that a lot of new people watch my channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you do, have to turn off your air assist. I did do that one over there on the Monport that used to be behind me, and all I did was unplug the air assist and fold it over and put a twist tie on it. Gregory from Hunts Patch is in the house. Hey, Gregory. Yes, sir. You're welcome. But I wasn't the first one to do powder coat either. Whose video was I watching where I said I have to try that? I can't remember whose video it was.
I know I've seen a video that's probably 6 years old or better.
Yeah, no, this was probably more than that. I think it was like eight years old maybe. And somebody from Germany, if I remember right, that's what prompted me to try it. And I didn't use his methods because they didn't work for me, but that's when I started testing the powder coat. And when I figured that out, I mean, I bought the powder coat in 2-pound bags locally from a supply house. I forget the name, Uline, I think it was. No, not Uline. The other one that's sort of like Uline, that has all types of equipment. And they had the powder coat, and I bought 5 different colors, 2 pounds each. I sent Patrick some, and at that time,
Yep. I still have it too.
You talking about Northern Tool?
Still have some.
no, not Northern Tool. No,
Okay.
it's a commercial supply house. But
Oh,
anyway,
gotcha.
I sent Patrick some, and I sent Steve some, who used to be on the channel with us. But then after that, I sold like dozens and dozens of little jars of different color powder coat, and just tons of people did it. James,
Well, guys, you're late, but you're here. That's what matters.
you can always scrub the video back. Just grab the little playhead and scrub it back to the beginning, because you've missed everything for tonight. So
Yeah. and a special tribute song that was played. So you might want to go back and watch that.
Yes. Patrick, what vinyl cutter were you using?
The Vivor 24
Ranger.
inch, I believe.
Beaver. Okay.
Granger, that's what it is. That was what I was thinking. I don't know why it said
Thank
the
you,
other one.
Robert. Granger. Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't come to me. I buy lots of stuff from Granger. On the bottom left of my Lightburn screen are 4 very small green buttons. They are buttons labeled Move, Size, Rotate, and Shear. What are those for? Okay, so if you want to lock something, you turn off the move. Just leave them all on green, because you're really never going to use those buttons, unless sometimes you might want to use shear. If you untick that, then the shear thing will show up, where you can twist the text. But really, I don't ever use those. I don't ever turn them off.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were there. I never even noticed them until he said that.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking down. I'm like, what green buttons on the Oh, those. They're all on.
Most people don't.
Everything works. I don't touch them.
Jamie's asking, is there a better brand powder coat to use? So I did. Okay, I also bought the Harbor Freight black and white powder coat, and I also bought the Amazon powder coat, and I also bought the Amazon, the other one that sparkles. I can't think of the name of it. And I found that it doesn't matter which powder coat that you're using; they all seem to work the same. Jack is asking, what format does your cutter use, Patrick?
What is it?
What format does your
Format? I exported the SVG out of Lightburn and imported it into the software so that it was the exact same size. So that's the second one that I cut out.
Okay.
So
Anyone
it's
know a good hotel to stay in New York City
second
for
layer.
LBX?
That looks good.
LBX.
Yeah, but it looks pretty cool. And you get the 2-layer effect.
Yep.
And no paint.
Okay, so Robert, LBX has a recommended hotel there, but if you just go on to Google and you Google hotels, New York City, you can find tons of them. Just you want to be near the event, which I think is on 19th Street, between 5th and 6th Avenue, maybe. Something like that. They have all the information online. Just Google the address of the convention center there and the meeting hall, and find out where that is, pin that, and then do a hotel search and go through and read up on the hotels, because you can get a really nice hotel for $100, and you can get a really crappy hotel for $300 a night. So I would personally look through all of the reviews on Google. And what's that other app that people use? Yelp? Or I usually use hotels.com. That's my favorite when I'm traveling.
It's the Javits at 34th and 11th. 11th Avenue.
The Javits Center? I don't think it is.
I can't.
It's not the Javits Center. No. Javits is on 34th and 11th. Yeah, no, that's not it. It's not the Javits Center.
Metropolitan Pavilion.
That's it. Yeah, I think it's on 11th Street, right? It's in Lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that the Met is between 5th and 6th Avenue, maybe, something like that. Just go to Lightburn, go to lbx.events, and you'll see the address there, and you just want to be close by. You want to be walking distance, though. So don't get too far away from the event. I suggest you use the hotel. They got a discount rack rate for people. Use the convention hotel. I think it's only a block away.
It's on 18th Street.
Oh, is it?
125 West 18th Street.
Oh, okay. 18th Street. Okay.
Yep.
They need to bring LBX to Florida. Nah, they need to bring it to New Orleans. Everybody loves coming to New Orleans. There's so much to do here. We have 13 convention hotels. We have one of the largest convention centers in the country. We have the international airport. I've been talking to them, trying to get them to come here for the convention, the next one. Who maybe we'll see what happens. But we're sort of like centralized in the middle of the U.S. And you can get here from anywhere in the world because we have the international airport, big beautiful airport. So Trump Tower has a great price. That's a pretty long walk from Trump Tower. $125 is between 6th and 7th.
No, it's the address is 125. It's 125 West 18th Street.
He's talking about avenues between 6th and 7th Avenue.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. I avoid big cities like the plague, so yeah. I'm a country boy. I live on a dirt road that's going to stay that way.
At one time, I used to know everything about New York City. As a kid, I worked for a company called Liberty Movers. They weren't in New York City. They were way out on Long Island in a town called Hauppauge. But we had to travel every day an hour or more, depending on traffic, to get into the city. And they are the premier mover if you have something really expensive. In fact, we moved the brass and glass showcases into Trump Tower. That's how I first met Donald Trump. He came down that same staircase with his assistant, or actually she was the project manager for Trump Tower. She was the head of the building, of building that building. And he came down with her, introduced himself to all of us. Well, we're just peons working for a moving company, and we were laying down the masonite from the front door to get to where the cabinets were going, because it's all marble floors. And he came down to thank us for protecting his marble floors. And in fact, he even ordered us lunch from Katz's Deli, which has been around since the 1800s, the best deli in New York City. And a big, huge box of sandwiches just for a couple of guys. And they also brought a whole cooler, not a real cooler, ice chest, but like a box that keeps things cool with a bag inside, filled with drinks.
That's
Real
a
nice
cool
guy.
story.
And he probably spent 30 minutes talking to us and asking us questions. And, we were moving in $200,000 showcases, each one. And moving them into the first floor and I believe the second floor shopping area. We did 2 or 3. This is many, many years ago, 40, whatever, long time ago. Robert says he would come to Louisiana. Yeah, so all of my friends, most of my friends are from New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire, California, but they're all spread out, Texas. And when it's time to go to somebody's house, for a weekend or a week, they all call me up. They want to come here. Ed lives in New York City. Yeah.
Yep.
You can go stay with Ed if you're going to the Light Burn Experience.
Robert's a country boy. Right on.
He can make some extra money renting out a couple rooms or the floor.
Handmade Craft says that's a side Trump, the media won't talk about. Yeah, and that's true too, because I had 3 encounters with President Trump over the years, and all 3 of them were big smile, walking forward, sticking out his hand, and then talking about all kinds of things that were unrelated to why we were together. So it was just kind of strange that a billionaire would come down to your level. And trust me, it's coming way down. When I was a kid, I was a typical Brooklyn kid. You know what I mean?
Well, Ernie had to go. He said your feed quit on his end.
My feed quit?
Something. I don't know. He said, see you next time.
Oh, okay, Ernie.
Sorry.
Pop says, I spent way too many hours driving to New York City. I never had that problem with traffic, except like on holidays. And I worked there every day for a couple of years. And we were, driving a truck. So it says there's no such thing as extra rooms in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I switched to floor space.
My niece is paying $3,200 for a studio apartment in Midtown, and my uncle is paying $290 for a 3-bedroom apartment overlooking Rockefeller Plaza. So, a big swing. Of course, he's under rent control. He's 90-something years old. When he leaves that apartment, it'll probably rent for $8,000. No, it's
Wow.
rent control, so it can only go up a certain amount. But they did everything to try and get him out of that apartment. When they remodeled the building in the late 80s, they took out, the elevator only stops at every other floor, and then in between those floors you have to go up a staircase. They took out his staircase in the 80s, and he had to actually he called the police and had to get a lawyer and everything else, and he was sort of stuck in that apartment for 2 days before they came in and built a temporary staircase for him. They tried everything to get him out.
Wow, that's crazy.
They raised the rent control a couple weeks ago.
Did they?
I don't know. They got to make it more difficult for the government to pay all the migrants for staying in there. The illegals.
If I remember right, the rent control apartments can only be raised a certain percentage. It's obviously not $290 today, but he's probably paying $500 or $600 or $700 today. But still, it's probably a $7,000 or $8,000 apartment if it were, vacant. But even when someone moves out, I don't think they can raise it higher than a certain percentage over what it was. Musk is no longer in Doge. Yeah, well, his time is up. He said he was going to be leaving
Well,
yesterday in the beginning, so
he
they're
also
making a big deal out of something that was already pre-planned months ago.
Yeah, his deal was too. He only had 130 days right from the beginning.
Exactly.
So it was limited. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way he could stay there longer than 130 days with his position he was in. So
Pop says he's going to be escaping New Jersey. Escape from New Jersey in a
South
couple
Carolina.
months.
That'll be nice.
Good for you. South Carolina is beautiful. Patrick, where are the files? Under the video. Click on
Yep. Should be.
.more to expand the description, and there's a link there where you can download them.
Yep. And if it's not like a link you can click, just copy and paste it into a browser. It'll show up.
Handmade
should
Chris
be.
says this is a laser podcast, not politics. I don't know. I think we can talk about anything we want to.
Yeah.
They found out why so many people in New York are angry all the time. It's because the light at the end of the tunnel turned off in New Jersey.
I think I've heard that before somewhere.
Don't say bad things about New Jersey. There are some
That's
beautiful,
funny.
beautiful country mountain properties. It's really a lot of New Jersey is really nice. I used to live in a town called, the last place I lived before I moved here was Deal, New Jersey, right next to Eatontown. It was on the coast, on the Atlantic, right on the beach, and it was probably my favorite place out of anywhere I've ever lived. Except my wife used to go to that Eatontown Mall all the time, and that was expensive.
Yeah. We
All right,
lost.
so
We
last
lost a
call
couple
for
of malls here.
last call for any Q&As. We're at an hour and 32 minutes, 2 minutes over our live stream tonight. Yes, The Sopranos was filmed in New Jersey.
Yep.
And that's an example of a big house up in the mountains. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, but there are tons of neighborhoods up in the mountains that are, it's like way out in the country where bears come through your backyard. So Ed disagrees.
The left armpit. Not even the right armpit. It's the left one.
New Yorkers can't say that they like New Jersey. I can. I especially like going west in New Jersey, up into the mountains. I especially like that, above the turnpike. Englewood here, ATX Woodcraft. Okay, guys, last call. any questions, or else we're gonna go for tonight.
Yep.
And you know what? I realized we have to wait a minute because some of the streams are 30 to 45 seconds behind. So we're gonna wait just a minute before we actually end tonight.
1 minute.
Hot Pops in Lacey Township. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice place. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it very much.
Right, right on the other side of the tunnel is bad. Oh yeah, that's really bad, and it stinks over there too. See you, Jack.
All right,
Later,
good
Jack.
night, everybody.
Good night, Handmade Crafts. Good night,
Yes.
Gail. Good night, Dan.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. We'll be back
Much
in
appreciation.
2 weeks. We'll see
Thank
you.
you.
All in
See you in 2 weeks.